she says it looks a bit like snot or another mucousy white liquid that I won't mention. Do you think she means
cum?
Do you think
She
she means
cum.
cum?
She means cum.
I was thinking saliva. I think I'm good.
All right. I want to start this week's episode with something a little different, mostly because we're in the same space, which is still relatively new for us. Because Daddy Strang of Nova Scotia has done such a good job of guiding us Nova Scotians into a somewhat stable situation, COVID-wise.
Yeah. Relatively
stable.
Relative to other places, extremely stable. What is that? What is that?
I immediately don't like the look of this.
I have here just a little snack for each of us. Oh, gotta get that last one.
I don't want to.
Yeah, here's the thing.
I don't want a surprise snack. I really don't.
Here's the thing, though, about showbiz, is yes-anding is kind of the key when it comes to.
I will yes and as soon as you put
forward.
that in your mouth first.
We'll all do it together at the same time.
I have my Invisalign in. I can't eat right now.
You actually have to, Brian. I'm sorry. This
you
is
don't
something
need
that
your
we're
teeth
all
for
going to
this.
do. So just take your hand, Taylor. I need to give you 9 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Are these raisins?
6.
It looked kind of
8,
moist when
9.
you pulled it out, which made me immediately not want anything.
So Taylor has 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your hand.
I don't like that you can look at it and see.
It
6,
looks
7, 8,
like they look like raisins.
Lauren, get over here.
No, dude, there's something super spicy for sure.
Don't.
I'm smelling it.
Just leave it. Just hold on. Don't ruin the surprise, guys. This is a surprise that's going to be worth it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8,
Lauren, is that a vagina on your t-shirt?
Here you go, Lauren.
It's the vagina of the face, and you have 2
All right,
of them.
and then I've got
Guys, this is exactly what our listeners have been waiting for.
Yes, some ASMR, some eating ASMR. So,
No.
Is this something Daddy Strang recommended us have for our immune systems or something?
Well, I'll get to that.
Okay.
So,
You should have told me to take
Bottoms
my
up.
Litline out first.
I actually forget that you wear braces, Brian.
That's because they're invisible.
Bottoms up. We'll each take a little. If you want to be watching this, you can watch it on YouTube. We're on YouTube now, so just heads up, folks.
Wait, all at once?
All together, 3, 2, 1, go. You really did wait until I put them in my mouth.
Okay.
Let it breathe.
A little bitter at first, or raisins.
Mm-hmm.
They're soaked in like alcohol.
Well, do you believe me that this fucking woman in the United States of America, 105 years of age.
Did we just eat her? Is that what was all shriveled up?
That it was the consistency of what I imagined.
I got Lauren.
5-year-old woman.
That's
tastes
it.
Like
I got Lauren to sacrifice her out in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Chopped her up into little tiny raisinettes. And now we're eating human. No,
You're officially a part of the crew. That was your
Lauren,
pledge. That was your pledge. Your pledge.
Lauren
prank.
gave you the thing. So you, before we get to what it is that we just ate, you asked Lauren if she had the thing.
What
When
is
she
that? What
showed
did you
up.
just drink?
So the fact that Lauren was willing to eat it too and didn't really make a big
she
deal
knew.
about
Yeah,
it.
she knew it was up.
Maybe I just have a death wish.
Look,
we all just commit mass suicide on
Yeah,
our
was this a
YouTube.
Jonestown type deal?
it was for your health. There was a 105-year-old woman in the U.S. who beat COVID. 105 years old. She got COVID on her 105th birthday.
Oh wow.
New York Times had asked her, Lucia DeClerck, how she lived so long, and she had a quick answer. Prayer, she offers. One step at a time.
Naturally.
No junk food. But surviving the coronavirus, she said, also may have had something to do with another staple. The 9 gin-soaked golden raisins she has eaten each morning for most of her life.
Gin soaked.
She said, fill a jar, she explained, 9 raisins a day after it sits for 9 days in gin. Now, we put this together today. Those raisins were soaking in there for maybe 9 minutes, but hey.
This
They were soaking for 2 hours.
There we go. 2 hours.
I love
There
how
we go.
Jeremie's so quick to adopt this, but he could go to a naturopath and go, fuck you. Like,
Dude, 105.
she's not, but she's 105.
That is.
Anecdotal evidence is the best evidence.
That's right. Thank you.
That's what we've
Thank you.
learned on this podcast.
I know somebody else who would agree with that.
Lauren, I just want to apologize to you for Jeremie sending you out to get gin-soaked raisins
I
today.
looked like the wildest kind of alcoholic
Yeah,
today.
you did.
I went out to Sobeys, or no, first I went to the NSLC, got the gin, and I went to the Sobeys for like raisins, which I couldn't find because it's the one that's like being renovated and no one knows where anything is anymore. And I was wearing sweatpants and like an oversized fleece hoodie with the wolf on it, the one I was wearing last weekend.
Yeah.
Like no bra, just looking like wild.
Frantic.
I'm so
frantic. Yeah.
Yeah, someone said to me like exactly.
Tell me where you keep your raisins.
I am
And
grateful.
your gin.
I'm grateful for you,
There,
Jared, that you
there's
did
more
that.
to this. Her children and grandchildren recall the ritual, the raisins, as just one of Mrs. DeClerck's endearing lifelong habits, like drinking aloe juice straight from the container and brushing her teeth with soda. That worked too. She did not have a cavity until she was 99. Like this lady is onto some shit.
Yeah.
Quote, we would just think, Grandma, what are you doing? You're crazy, said her 53-year-old granddaughter. Let me repeat that. Her 53-year-old granddaughter.
Because granddaughters have to be tiny children.
I mean, when's the last time? When was the last time you met a granddaughter that wasn't 5? Never. Thank you very much. Now the laugh is on us.
Wait, we're grandkids.
No, get out.
Yeah.
No. We're adults. We're adult grandchildren. This is an old lady grandchild. There's a difference. It is a long list. She's beaten a lot of shit, and this is actually what I found to be quite fucking fascinating. She was born in 1916 in Hawaii. From parents who came from Guatemala and Spain. She lived through the Spanish flu. She lived through both world wars.
Dude, 2 pandemics.
2 pandemics, and
I wonder if she got Spanish flu.
and
beat it.
and the death of 3 husbands and a son. This lady has lived a life.
She could have also been a serial killer.
She was
Perhaps.
she also grew up in Hawaii, so I think that explains a lot. I think if I grew up in the sun
I'm gonna
that.
agree with you,
Dude,
on that.
warm
every day, I
climates,
think
man.
I would live forever. I think
There's
it'd just be,
something
like,
different
the
about
most-
it.
Like we're sitting here and it's like -20 outside.
I love living here, but there's definitely something fully different about
Yeah.
living in a warm
I
climate.
think that
Yeah.
I think we need to travel south for a portion of the winter.
yeah,
every
like
year.
birds.
She moved to Wyoming. No, she moved to Wyoming, California, and back to Hawaii before finally arriving in New Jersey. New Jersey. This is her. New Jersey. Let me see that.
Does she have a?
I don't know. I'm just.
Does she
She's
have a,
105.
what's
dude.
it called?
She doesn't have a.
Where you have the thing in your
It's
throat?
like a vocal box
Yeah.
thing. What is it?
If you like.
Did you have like
there's
throat
I saw a
cancer or
sweet
something?
TikTok video. I think Maddie's sister sent it to me of this kid using his like grandmother's throat thing to auto tune his voice and sing songs. It
Dude,
was
that's
like a little
great.
kid. It was super adorable, but also super impressive.
Her old ass granddaughter went on to say she is just the epitome of perseverance. Her mind is so sharp. She will remember things when I was a kid that I don't even remember. Mrs. DeClerck, the oldest resident of her South Jersey nursing home, I would hope so, man, 105, learned that she had contracted the virus on her 105th birthday, January 25th, the day after she had gotten her second dose of the Pfizer vaccine, according to
Oh.
Michael Neiman, the home's administrator.
Oh, sweet.
At first, she was
Crazy.
scared. She did not like being isolated, and she missed the daily chatter from the parade of caregivers at Mystic Meadows Rehabilitation and Nursing, a 120-bed facility in Little Egg Harbor. She showed few symptoms, Mr. Neiman said, and within 2 weeks, she was back in her room, holding her rosary beads and wearing her trademark sunglasses and knit hat. Her 2 surviving sons, 5 grandchildren, 12 great-grandchildren, and 11 great-great-grandchildren who call her Grandma Lucia. She has a new moniker. Mrs. O'Neill said, the 105-year-old badass who kicked COVID's ass. And there she is.
Oh man,
Dude, look at the
those.
dude. Look at those shades.
I know,
Those shades
dude.
are
I
sick.
know. Just holding her rosary, eating those fucking
You know what's
gin-soaked raisins.
you know what's crazy about people who are ultra old is
What's crazy about people that are ultra?
they tend
ultra
to
old?
be
that they're alive.
you know
That's what's fucking crazy.
no because they people who are that old, they also tend to be people that are still up and about doing things that a lot of like people in their late 70s find it hard to do.
Mm.
Like they're up there, they're going for walks, they're like a lot of them still drive cars,
Yeah.
or like it's because they just like part of the reason why they live so long is because they continuously feel a sense of purpose because they don't lose function like a lot of other people do when they get, up into their, like, let's say 75 plus.
Like
Because I think once you get into 75 and older, you're kind of in that really old.
It's like you're more likely
category.
to hear a story about the 95-year-old that ran the marathon
Right.
than the 80-year-old that
Yeah.
ran the
Dude,
marathon.
Kyla's grandfather is 96, fixes trucks and tractors, still drives.
Still?
Yeah.
Like now?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Still drives.
But should
Yeah.
he be? Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
people
I
that
was
are
gonna-
driving
Yeah.
that
Yo,
perhaps
He just
should not.
he just got his he just got cataract he just got a cataract surgery because
Oh,
he
yeah, I was at
actually
your place
he
when she was
couldn't
saying
he
this.
couldn't drive for a little bit because of his
Okay.
cataracts.
Right.
Got his cataracts fixed. Doesn't need prescription glasses at all anymore.
Wow.
That's
Dude's
crazy.
96.
So he can see better than me?
Yeah, dude, like
How
dude,
many gin-soaked raisins does he have every day?
he has
I
Ask him.
need to
47 gin-soaked raisins every
He
day.
just has a bottle
Okay.
of gin and then he eats some raisins.
He's gonna go strong to
He
120.
soaks
I
them
think.
in his belly.
How
But,
old do you think
yeah,
the oldest person on the planet right now is?
108.
I think it's
Ooh.
her.
I know the oldest woman ever was 121 or 122. I think she's from Kenya. I'm gonna say 112.
I think COVID's killed everyone older than her, and she's the only one.
Well,
Possible.
Kane Tanaka, oldest person living. She was born January 2nd. Maybe it's a January thing, dude. Maybe I'm going to live fucking forever.
Yeah,
January
yeah.
2nd,
It must be January.
1903. She's 117 years
Whoa.
and 41
That's
days
pretty
old.
crazy.
Damn.
I was wondering if there was
Wow.
anybody who
Hey,
was
look up
born in the
oldest person ever.
1800s.
I think it's a Kenyan woman in the 120-ish region.
This reminds me of that story of Kyla's grandfather reminded me of me talking to my great aunt funnily enough, we were at a funeral and
Funerals are
and-
funny.
and I was walking out of the funeral and I was chatting with her on the way out the door and I said, "And Olive, how are you getting home?" And she was like, "Oh, I drove." And I was like,
How old is
"Oh
she?
fuck." She was like 90. But like she was like
You
90,
said,
but she
"Oh,
was
fuck."
like
You went, oh fuck,
Oh,
dog.
fuck.
Oh shit, dog. You
I
drove?
said, "Oh fuck, you drove here?" And I actually reacted with like, "Oh my god, you drove here?" And
I
she
went,
was
oh my
like-
god, is everybody okay?
She was like, "Well, I made sure I took all the back streets."
Oh,
And
well,
I
that's
was like,
considerate of her.
I was like, if you know you need to
Yeah.
take the back
Yeah.
streets,
Shouldn't be taking
maybe
it.
you
Yeah,
shouldn't
exactly.
be driving.
Yeah, exactly. That's what somebody who's drunk does. That's they go, I'll just take all the back streets.
which
Don't do it.
I said I didn't say any one of us.
Uh,
I said somebody who's drunk.
Yeah.
The oldest person ever, at least as far as we are concerned, is Jean Louise Calment. She was 122 years old and 164 days.
Is she Kenyan? Is that am
No,
I
she
right?
was from France.
Oh.
probably born in January.
Pretty wild though, eh? I mean, the wild thing to me is that COVID has taken a lot of lives, but god damn, to know that a 105-year-old woman got it and beat it, that's a nice thing.
That is
And the
nice.
gin-soaked raisins, that's kind of cute.
It's very cute.
I love how it's 9.
Brian, your braces fell on the ground there,
I
buddy.
love ew, gross.
Yeah, it was
Jesus
very
Christ.
specific.
Oh no, and they're invisible, so he
Oh,
can't
they're
find them.
You'll never find them.
I actually looked down and I was like,
God, they're lost in the shag carpet.
They're gone
Hey, if you want to
forever.
see the shag carpet, you can tune in to the host sections of our Feel Good Friday episodes on YouTube. We're going to be putting them on YouTube for the forever now.
If you're a listener of this show and you're not going over to YouTube to subscribe, hit that alert button
Yeah, all that stuff.
and leave a really nice comment. I mean, are you really a fan of the show? Go on over there, check out what we got going on, because this set is fucking legit,
Yeah.
and we want you to see it.
And you're definitely gonna want to see this thing. So one of my favorite
Oh my god!
Instagram accounts that I actually don't follow, but I have Lauren follow it for me.
God
I'm
damn,
I'm good with this.
And I also have my wife follow it, and she'll sometimes send things to me. It's called Medical Talks. We've talked about Medical Talks a number of times in our live shows, and we're currently looking. If you're just listening at home and you don't have YouTube, get your life together. But also, we are currently looking at. Well, let me just describe it to you.
dude, look at that
Mid-foot.
that big toenail sliding off.
This is pretty interesting. Mid-foot amputation due to diabetic gangrene. Gangrene can develop when the supply of blood to an area of your body is interrupted. This can occur as the result of an infection arising from an injury and or due to hardening and narrowing of the arterial walls, both resulting in obstruction of blood supply.
It's crazy because I've heard people with diabetes or friends of people with diabetes say like, be careful if you stub your toe. Like you don't want to get an infection. It could result in something really bad. But
Yeah.
So
I
hold
had
on.
no idea.
That is
It
what's
was
bad.
that.
So
Yeah.
so you're just subject to worse infection when you're diabetic?
All of your organs need oxygen to survive. If one of your body parts isn't getting oxygen through your blood, it can deteriorate and die. People with diabetes have an increased risk of developing gangrene. This is because the high blood sugar levels associated with the condition damages the nerves, particularly those in the feet, which can make it easy to injure yourself without even realizing. High blood sugar can also damage your blood vessels, restricting the blood supply to your feet. Less blood means your feet will also receive fewer infection-fighting cells, so wounds will take longer to heal and are more likely to become infected. An infection can spread quickly, and if left untreated, it can lead to sepsis and eventually death.
Man, can you imagine if you got
But what's wild is the
Half
way
your
they
foot?
amputate it. Like they're just going,
do they
like,
lop
I mean, that toe,
they lop
that
Yeah.
big toe
rough.
looks ouchy.
Well, I would amputate it just looking at the nails alone. I would,
Yeah.
you know.
I wonder how much of the gangrene was in the nails, or if that's what the nails
hold
were
on
before.
though. That is a lot of nail going
No,
on.
to
eh?
be fair, that person didn't care much about their feet anyway, so it's better that they
it is.
don't
It's,
have
it's
to
hard.
deal with
It's
it
hard
anymore.
to say. It's hard to say. But that, like, it's hard to say if the nail was too long or if that's a result.
But
of
look
it.
at the other toenails.
I've never seen a piss-colored nail before, though.
Oh,
Yeah.
How
what?
much? How much?
Oh, dude, just find someone with like fungus on their toes.
I'd rather
Those
not.
yellow ass toenails. They're
hey,
nasty.
hey, guys, I just want to say, hey, if you're listening right now and you have yellow toes,
There's
it's
nothing
okay.
wrong with it.
No,
all right.
it's not okay. Go to the fucking doctor.
It's not okay.
What do you
I'm
mean?
gonna cut off your foot.
What do you mean
Hey,
it's okay?
everything- hey.
Brian's just over here trying to make everyone
No,
feel
I
better.
mean, I
Get
mean,
your ass
it's
to the
okay.
doctor and get some cream.
I'm assuming that they've been to the doctor.
Get some.
It's okay. Hey,
Get some
it's okay.
cream. He says.
No.
So I know we've spoken to a number of people with diabetes on the show, but we've never really come across anyone's story where they actually like had a pretty scary run-in with their feet and running up against like really severe infection. But when I saw this photo, I was reminded of this wild thing out of the Yukon that maybe you've heard of, maybe you haven't. But if you haven't, it's called the sour toe shot. Okay, so the sour toe cocktail
Oh.
is practically, and this also reminds me of those delicious gin-soaked raisins we just ate.
I can't believe I ate what you gave me.
I know.
You just
I know.
gave us a surprise.
Because he put it
thing
in his
that.
mouth, so that was.
Yeah.
No, you didn't wait though.
I
You
committed.
just, you just went
I
with it.
waited.
Yeah.
The sour toe cocktail is practically a rite of passage for visitors to Dawson City, Yukon, a place that I want to go so badly.
Well,
it's a simple drink, a shot of whiskey, usually Yukon Jack, with an unusual accompaniment, a mummified human toe. This is from the CBC.
whoa.
That can't be legal.
Yeah.
Well, how did the sour toe cocktail come to be? It all started during Prohibition with a nasty case of frostbite.
It's way too recent.
In the 1920s, the rum-running Lincoln brothers,
Back when Gene was alive.
Louis and Otto, Gene was alive.
She was a kid.
Yeah. Louis and Otto got caught in a blizzard. Louis put his foot through a patch of ice and soaked his foot. When the brothers got back to their cabin, Louis' right foot was frozen solid. To prevent gangrene, Otto used his axe to chop off Louis' toe. He placed the toe in a jar of alcohol to commemorate the event. Fast forward to 1973. Legend has it that Captain Dick Stevenson found the jar and the toe in a remote cabin. He came up with the idea of the Sour Toe Cocktail Club, an exclusive club with one membership requirement. In order to gain admittance to the club, potential members must drink the legendary Sour Toe cocktail. There's just one rule. You can drink it fast, you can drink it slow, but your lips must touch that gnarly toe.
Ooh.
In 2013, this is how I came across this. In 2013, one man swallowed the toe
Stop.
on purpose.
Died instantly.
He was run out of the town. But then he came back seeking forgiveness from the people of Dawson City. And actually,
Hold
CDC.
on. So it was
has-
always the same toe?
Well, after this
Must
guy,
have been, yeah.
this guy ate it, they had to get a new toe. So there's a wonderful,
Who donated that?
there's a wonderful CBC doc
This guy.
about this guy that ate the toe
The guy
and
that
had
ate
to
it?
go.
No, the diabetic toe. That's
Oh Jesus! I would hope not. But here's a picture of the sour toe shot. You can see it right there. It does look like that toe, though, doesn't it? I mean, look at the.
That
if you
can't be
compare the
that can't
two,
be
that's
real.
it is the same
would you
They
toe.
guys,
look
would you
very
guys do that?
distinct.
Would you drink that?
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, me too.
Dude, there's
for
got to
sure.
be something that is very not okay with that.
It's apparently it's pretty legit.
It's sterilized with the alcohol.
Dude, this is
Yeah.
like, this puts being screeched into shame.
It does, yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, being screeched in is a Newfoundland tradition for folks who are new to the island, and it's a way to become an honorary Newfoundlander yourself. And you basically you drink some alcohol and you kiss a dead fish. Drinking a shot with a dead human toe and having
That's
that touch your
next
lips,
level.
kiss a dead toe. That's
Yeah.
the next level. But that's Dawson City for you. Beautiful city. Apparently.
We're, well, I am, and Brian might be there. I don't know what Brian's exact plans are, but we might go and bike the the Dempster Highway.
Right.
Starts in Dawson City, goes all the way up to the Arctic Ocean, 800K.
I will come for sure, and I'll drive the support van.
That's actually a great idea.
That would be really
And
helpful.
and in Dawson City, we will do the dead man's toe.
Oh baby, I would definitely do it.
So
That'd be
wait,
so fun.
So but did they replace the toe? Because this guy went back
Yeah.
to
Well,
the,
I
thought-
don't want to spoil the documentary, and
Okay.
and not that this was like an
Do you
ad
know
for a
the
CBC
answer?
doc. I do know the answer. So it's called Sour Toe: The Story of the Sorry Cannibal.
Why don't you just give like a pause and say like mute this for the next 10 seconds if you don't want to spoil
Yeah,
it.
because I'm definitely not going to
All
watch
right, mute
that.
this.
second.
Mute this for the next 10 seconds if you don't want it spoiled. He came back. He felt so sorry. He came back with his own toe cut off, and he
What?
gave it back to them.
For real?
No.
No, I actually forget the documentary, but you should go listen to it.
Damn it.
All right, and then now we're coming back for those people that paused. Crazy,
That's,
right?
That's
Yeah,
That was
wild.
wild.
Yeah.
That was really wild.
That is
Yeah,
really
thank-
crazy.
So I know Bri. So in prepping some of the stuff for these visual, it's now visual, folks. You can go watch the show on YouTube. Brian's been really anti-gross stuff, and I know that I just hit you
Not since we started YouTube, just forever.
just forever ago.
But you know what? I'm cool with like the diabetic foot amputation. I could look at that stuff all
Okay.
day. And like medical talks. I just don't like the extreme gnarly stuff.
yeah. Well,
What's your line?
Anything from your mom's house.
That's fair. That's fair.
That is fair. I did prepare a little bit of some eye bleach for you.
Okay, perfect.
A little bit of a
Which sounds
palate cleanser.
sounds counterintuitive
Yeah,
to
it
what you would
does.
think it is.
Because this is actually a clip of someone pouring bleach into their eyes.
No, this is actually a video. This is a clip from here. This is local, which actually went super viral. It is a gentleman from Spryfield, I believe. The video currently on YouTube has over 15 million views, I think.
Oh,
And if I get the story correctly,
I don't think I saw this.
this is an ode to his partner, his wife, who passed away. He promised her that he would keep these little critters company, and he goes out each night, I guess, and does this. This is his ritual.
I'm gonna sit in the snow-covered beach.
My God.
Trash
Oh,
pandas.
Oh my God!
That is a bucket full of wieners, hot dog
Yes,
Oh
yes,
my.
yes!
You know what?
I'm
Those
wall raccoons.
raccoons are so cute.
Ready?
They're nasty, but like
Dude, they're
I
so
love
cute.
them.
They're
I
so
love
cute.
them.
They're so
Let's
sweet.
one of
go.
my favorite animals, other than the pygmy marmosets,
Oh my
is
God.
the red panda.
This is crazy.
Oh man,
This is
This
crazy.
crazy. And
You know,
raccoons
there's gotta
kinda
be
remind me of
30
that.
raccoons at least.
Dude,
Oh,
look
one
at
over his
I
shoulder.
I know. He's just like, hey, what's
Oh
up? He's my daddy.
So he started doing this. and
Hey,
more
thanks.
and more raccoons would show up every night. So all the raccoons up in Spryfield, they're like, "Have you fucking heard about Buddy?
He's
Every
giving out
night he's
the
coming out
wieners.
with a bunch of wieners."
Yo, my parents, they were, I can't remember exactly how it started, how they, I think they were just hearing noises and didn't-
voices?
no, like just like random yeah, someone's speaking in tongues between 2 and 3 a.m.
Have they checked their CO2 detector?
and so there was they were hearing, you know, bangs and little creaks and stuff at night, and then during the day, and they go up in their attic, and we have one of the house I grew up in, it has one of those attics that like you go through a like small thing in the ceiling, and it's like
the attic in Hereditary.
and it's like there's nothing up there. It's just undone
We
floor
actually-
and beams.
We went through a phase in like our teenage years where we wanted to hang out in attics all the time.
Yeah,
so we would go
because
up
we
in
knew
Taylor's
that
attic,
no
we'd
one
to
would go
mine.
there.
Yeah.
So my dad, I was about to say my mom, like my mom would never do that. Plus she's like 3 foot tall. My dad goes up into the attic and finds a family of raccoons. The mother is dead.
oh no.
And there's
no.
there's got to be between like somewhere between like 5 or 8
They love to
baby raccoons.
pack up. They love to be like hanging out.
And they're all in
packs.
there, and they're like
Oh, buddies.
this big, like
Oh.
super small, and they bring them down. They fucking lived in my parents' house for like 2 weeks
Well, they're one of those animals that like
Whoa.
because my parents didn't really know what to do with them. They were feeding them.
Yeah.
They called the vet. They told the vet, or they called the vet, or the I think
The vet's like,
They should've
you
called
got any
Hope.
wieners?
I think they went to
Hope for
I
Wildlife.
think they went to Hope for Wildlife.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's a listener out there. We get lots of emails from listeners giving us like corrections when we say shit that's wrong. We love your letters. Letters at sickboypodcast.com if you want to send them to us. But and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe that they are like pretty easily domesticated animals. Even though, okay, you probably should. I'm sure you probably shouldn't. I know you probably shouldn't.
You definitely
But
shouldn't.
But like this guy here in Spryfield, he could probably pluck one of those little critters up and bring him into the house. And
Remember
You
when we
know.
got drunk in Charlottetown and we tried to make friends with the fox?
dude, you tried to fuck that fox.
Taylor loved
You
that
loved
fox.
that fox. You were like you were got it. We had to leave. It got
The
weird.
fox really liked you too, though.
The fox did
the
like you
fox
too.
Really liked.
but yeah, don't domesticate.
Well, I don't
Raccoons.
know.
Or any
would-
wild
I'm
animal.
not going to say don't,
Also,
but maybe do. I don't. You know, like
But maybe don't.
but definitely don't.
I wouldn't say
But-
definitely don't.
But have you guys seen the type of
Possibly
animal that
do.
you should domesticate though? A
Otters.
skunk.
What?
You should.
It's man.
You
I'm
shouldn't
telling
domesticate any animal. You fucking nincompoop, unless it's a raccoon.
You just said that maybe you should
Yeah,
domesticate.
'cause you should, but
raccoons.
not a skunk. Come on, skunks are domesticatable.
super cute.
I do know this.
They're super cute.
Oh,
They have,
fuck
like,
that.
So
These,
wait,
like,
is that your
little
reasoning for that?
snorkers?
It's
Yeah.
just the cuteness factor.
Definitely.
well, you know what's going to take
Yeah.
the cute out of all this is in
Fuck.
looking up this, in fucking finding this video of Buddy out in Spryfield with the with the raccoons.
You better have another palate cleanser if you're gonna play
This
something gross.
is not a palate.
Hold on, does this have a health thing? Did he get bit and does he have rabies?
Well, no,
or-
this is how I'm going to tie it to health. So my girlfriend sent me this meme earlier today. The timing was perfect because I was setting up that video anyway, and I was like, this has nothing to do with health. I just wanted to give it to Bri
Oh,
because
thanks.
I knew Bri was going to be fucking
Oh,
butthurt,
right, it's
butthurt
the
that I
eye
put a
bleach.
Hey, look,
right.
dead
guys.
toe in there.
We should continue this thing.
So yeah, I'll try to make cute for you every time.
Okay, sweet. Thanks.
But
Make
I-
cute.
I couldn't not add this. My girlfriend sent me this meme today. The human anus can stretch up to 7 inches before taking damage.
Oh.
A raccoon can squeeze into holes as tight as 4 inches, meaning you can take almost 2 full raccoons up your ass. Now, I understand
Yeah.
that this is a meme, so I did some digging. And I've come to a definitive conclusion of what is actually possible.
Do we have a video of raccoon?
No,
like
no,
how,
no.
uh,
I wish
Taylor and I
that I
are-
could ruin Brian's life forever.
Taylor and
That'd
I,
be some of your mom's
Taylor and
shit.
I are in the middle of like setting up stuff in the office and doing some work. And Jerry, you're sitting over in the corner researching how many inches can an asshole take.
That is
before it breaks?
literally what I am doing for work.
How many raccoons?
My job is going, how wide can my anus stretch?
As long as there's no pictures or videos.
No,
of
I got
it.
none of that. But I
Okay.
will say this.
We can talk about it.
It is a little known fact that adult raccoons, so these big fuckers right here, these big old boys, all right, look at like they're
Oh my
fucking big.
God.
Oh my god, it's too cute.
Holy smokes!
So one of those fuckers can fit through an opening as small as 3 inches to 4 inches.
Not one of those
I
ones.
don't understand.
In
Not
diameter.
not on a hot dog diet.
Not on,
Look at those
not on
fucking
a,
guys.
not on a Spryfield hot dog diet. That's correct. To prevent access, you should inspect the home or structure at all possible. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So 3 to 4 inches, right? So I was like, okay, how far can the human asshole stretch? Timo's asshole, up Timo's asshole. That's oh no one's gonna see that. That's a
That's a
Patreon.
Patreon
Oh,
exclusive.
well, we could,
If you want to see it, go watch it on Patreon.
Yeah, there you go.
Patreon.com
Yeah.
slash
Timo's asshole. It
Sickboy.
went up Timo's asshole.
So how wide could Timo's asshole stretch? Well,
Guys, it's not just butt content on Patreon too. So
No,
if you're
there's-
thinking about
no.
Yeah,
joining
okay,
Patreon,
okay.
It's more than that.
so it actually depends on everyone's body. It depends on everyone's body because it's not about. It actually has nothing to do with how wide your asshole actually can stretch because apparently the tissue and everything that your rectum and your asshole is made of is like, I mean, obviously not infinitely stretchable, but like very, very unbelievably stretchable to extents that like we might not really be able to wrap our heads around. Where you get caught up, where it ends.
Is it like a piece of paper? Like eventually, it's as like you could fit the earth inside your asshole.
Eventually,
like-
you would stretch. Like if you didn't have a certain bone structure, you could stretch your asshole so wide that you eventually just swallow
You
up
just-
your
you
soul.
just-
and then you're inside yourself.
I am an asshole.
am an asshole.
then you just become inside out.
So it's called what is colloquially known as the pin bone diameter. The distance between the ischial spines on either side of the pelvic girdle is the hard limit. So with the distance between the coccyx and the posterior side of the pubic symphysis running second place. So basically,
I broke that.
where the diameter between your, I guess it's like your sits bones, right? Like it's kind of those like protruding bones in your butt that if you like sat on a hard surface and you go and push in, you're like, oh, that's the width of which it can stretch out. Now,
Wow.
on
Imagine though, Tay, the amount of raccoons you could have fit up your asshole
When it was
during
broke.
that
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah.
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 You
All
could
I need to
fit,
do
like,
is-
3 more.
All I need to do is look at my bike
At
seat and I
least.
go, "That's how wide my asshole will stretch."
So on average, this pin bone diameter is thought to be about 5 inches. So, although the meme, which states the human ass can stretch up to 7 inches, and a raccoon can squeeze into as tight as 4, which means you can fit 2. If you go by the calculations of what I just said there,
Research shows.
that if a raccoon can fit into a place as small as 4 inches, and your pin bone diameter is about 5 inches, you can for sure guarantee yourself that you can fit one of these big boys all the way up your butt.
Now this is
And
one of
that's what I
those
would say.
moments.
That's what I would say. Holy smokes!
This
if
is
I
one of
had
those
this
moments
on my
where
ass.
we are looking at you, fans who are doctors and healthcare practitioners, or
Yeah.
yeah,
This is
If
what
you're
they're
still
gonna
here
write
with
on
us.
ass doctors in particular. Can a raccoon fit inside a human asshole? Please
I guarantee
reach
you,
out.
someone's gone to emerge with
Letters
a raccoon
at
asshole-related
sickboypodcast.com.
injury.
Hey
We
man,
should- we
Dr.
should-
John Ross has told us about some wild stuff that people go to the emergency room.
I think he
with
said
up their ass.
80 to 90% of all emergency room visits are people getting things stuck in their ass.
That's a fact.
You know,
a fact.
we should have an anonymous ER doc on the show to talk about all of the
That's a
things
good
that
idea.
people have had. in their
Anonymous? No,
butt.
fuck that. Let's get.
I don't think can
Yes,
they,
you
can.
can.
They say?
I mean,
Yeah,
you
you
can get one of the.
You
You
can't
can get
reveal
one,
names.
Yeah, exactly. You
Right.
can get one of the docs that are like cool and hip, and
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, John Ross was
Yeah,
old, old
docs,
and hip.
like a doc who's with it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
We should call John Ross up, who's very professional. For the people who didn't hear the episode with him,
Just go
like
and
this-
listen to it. He was
he's-
great.
back
he
and
was
listen,
he
right?
was really great. But maybe not the guest that we would have on to talk about explicitly about.
I would definitely have him on just to talk
All
about
right, let's do
asshole
it.
insertion.
Let's get John Ross back
Tee
on
it up,
to
Lo.
talk about only asshole insertions. We'll just
Speak-
make it a Feel Good Friday episode.
Speaking of letters, we got one that has come in from a medical professional, and they're actually from here in Halifax. Her name is Jen. Lauren, do you want to read this for us?
No, but I will anyway.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Jeez,
Says-
those gin-soaked raisins went straight to her fucking brain, eh?
I know, I've gotten real feisty. Hi, guys and Lauren. Just finished listening to the recent episode with Josh, the genetic counselor. As a genetic technologist working here in Halifax, I was hoping to have something I could tear in on him about, but it turns out he knows his shit. No notes.
All right.
Yeah. The only thing I might touch on is that it's possible due to differences in our healthcare systems, it might be more difficult to see a genetic counselor in Canada than in the US. I'm not a counselor. I can get you in touch with one if you're looking for a local perspective, but I work pretty closely with them and know that there's a pretty long wait list. So you would typically need to have a reasonably strong suspicion of a genetic problem in order to get testing.
Ah.
This would include having symptoms of a genetic disorder, having a family member with a known mutation, or having multiple family members with cancer, especially at a young age. As a technologist, I'm the one working in the lab who receives the samples and runs the tests on patients. We extract DNA and drop slides to look at chromosomes and use all sorts of fancy machines and techniques to read the genetic code. It's a surprisingly cool job. Did you know that you can see DNA with your naked eye when you extract it? No, that's wild.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
She says it looks a bit like snot or another mucousy white liquid that I won't mention. Do you think she means
Come.
do you,
Come.
I was gonna say,
Come.
do you think she means
cum.
cum?
She means
Come.
I was thinking saliva.
To
I was thinking come.
to answer, this is so funny you said saliva, Brian. The next thing she wrote, to answer your question about sample types, we actually almost never use saliva in clinical labs as it actually doesn't have that much DNA in it.
Was it always come?
It's all and then she goes on to write, it's always cum. She also
She
wrote
didn't say that.
Just to be clear.
We should just start reading people's letters and then just start riffing on
Just
them and
making shit up.
a
That's
blood
not funny.
sample is relatively simple to collect and gives us a
Yes,
ton
it
of
is.
material to work with. We will also look at other tissues depending on the reason for testing, including amniotic fluid, bone marrow, skin, and tumors.
Duma. Cut it out.
Guys, we should get a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger to put on one of the shelves.
We really should, or add him to the soundboard.
We should.
We
We should
weirdly
get.
talk about him
We
a
should
lot.
get. We should get a photo of Arnold with his ponies.
Anyway, she
I
says
can, I
that
can put something together.
Ponies.
she has experience with genetic testing as a patient. She says she has an extended family member with CF. And while shadowing one of the genetic counselors as a student, she says, I was informed that my risk of being a carrier was 1 in 8. As I was hoping to have kids in the next couple of years, I was able to get in to see a counselor and get tested relatively quickly.
Oh,
and
wow.
then she says to cover her ass a bit, testing on yourself in the lab is generally frowned upon, especially in a clinical lab. So we need to have testing ordered through the doctor, same as everyone else. So she did. You go, girl.
Good to know.
Luckily, I was also not currently working in the same areas as CF testing is done, so there's no way I could peek at my results. It turned out I was a carrier of the Delta F 508.
508. That's
Is
my
that-
gene.
That's yours?
Yeah.
It sounds like the name of a plane.
It is
It does,
the
yeah.
worst plane you can be a passenger on.
There's no air things that come down.
It's one of those.
Yeah.
It's one of those Boeing 77s that have the engine
Allegedly.
on fire.
It's the plane Valerie
Allegedly.
was on.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
But my partner didn't carry any of the common CF mutations, so we knew that our kids had a pretty low likelihood of being born with CF. After my second kid was born, I started getting interested in genealogy and ended up doing a 23andMe test. The CF mutation showed up in there as well as another random recessive condition. It was interesting, but I'm more interested in the genealogy side of things. Yeah. Then she goes on about her 23andMe
Cool.
experiences.
Well, that was, we really appreciate that. And again, folks, if you have a letter that you'd like to send to us, whether it's something about your profession in the field, something about what we said that was wrong, something about your life in general, we always encourage you to send it in letters at sickboypodcast.com. We have to wrap this shit up because we have an interview in 5 minutes. So this was really fun, but you know what's going to be even more fun than this? The interview that we're about to throw to you right now, which you can listen to over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you find fine podcasts. What is the interview we're throwing to? Lo? Is it the mRNA episode?
Yes.
Dr. Zetter?
Yes.
Ooh.
Fuck yeah.
Bruce
Yeah, that's a good one.
Zetter.
This is
DZ.
this episode's for all the nerds.
Bruce Setter takes us to school.
He takes us to school in the world of mRNA. So let's throw to that episode over on the audio platforms, but on YouTube. It was nice to see you all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thanks, homies.
I'll see you next week.